Once upon a time, in a sunny little village, lived a cheerful tailor. He loved sewing more than anything. His workshop was small, but full of bright fabrics, shiny buttons, and colorful threads. And oh, he also loved bread with sweet jam. One morning, as he spread jam on his bread, bzzz, a swarm of flies landed right on it. The tailor frowned. He grabbed a cloth and whack! He swatted as hard as he could. When he counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, he gasped. He had defeated 7 flies in one blow. Beaming with pride, he stitched a belt that read 7 at one blow. Now he felt like a true hero. The tailor wanted the world to know of his bravery. So he packed bread and cheese, slung his bag over his shoulder, buckled his special belt, and marched out of the village. The people watched in wonder as he set off on his adventure. Deeper in the forest, boom, 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 the ground shook. A giant appeared, taller than the trees, with a club like a log. He glared at the tiny tailor. "Who dares enter my forest?" he roared. But the tailor smiled boldly. "It is I, the man who defeated 7 at one blow." The giant blinked in surprise. Such courage in someone so small. The giant laughed loudly. "If you are so strong, prove it," he boomed. He crushed a stone into dust with one hand. But the little tailor wasn't afraid. He picked up a tiny bird and held it tight. When the bird squeaked, the giant thought the tailor had squeezed water out of a stone. His jaw dropped. "What strength!" he gasped. The tailor only smiled. His clever trick had worked again. "Let's see how far you can throw," roared the giant. He hurled a huge rock so far it shook the forest. The tailor only grinned. Instead of a stone, he tossed the little bird. It spread its wings and flew high, far beyond the rock. The giant staggered back in shock. "Impossible!" he cried. But the clever tailor just whistled cheerfully. The giant tried once more. "Let's see if you can carry a tree like me." With a grunt, he ripped a mighty oak from the ground and threw it on his shoulder. But the tailor chuckled. "You carry the trunk, I'll take the branches," he said. The giant agreed and struggled with the heavy trunk while the tailor sat on the branches, riding along like a prince. The forest echoed with the tailor's happy tune while the giant huffed and puffed. The giant scratched his head, puzzled. He had never met someone so clever, but instead of giving up, he smiled slyly. "Come with me, little man," he said. "Stay in my cave tonight. You'll be safe there." The tailor agreed and followed him into the dark, rocky cave, whistling as if nothing could trouble him. That night, the giant made a wicked plan. As the tailor pretended to sleep, the giant crept closer with his heavy club. Bang! He smashed the bed to splinters. "That will be the end of him," he chuckled. But the little tailor wasn't in the bed at all. He had hidden behind a rock. Safe and smiling, he whispered to himself, "Poor giant, he'll never outsmart me." In the morning, the tailor stretched and yawned. "Ah, what a good night's sleep," he said cheerfully. The giant froze. His eyes went wide. "But I smashed him with my club," he whispered. The tailor only smiled, bright as ever. The giant's knees began to tremble. The giant followed the tailor out of the cave, shaking with fear. "If he survived my blow, And if he can slay 7 at once, he must be stronger than me, he thought. Meanwhile, the tailor skipped along, swinging his bag and whistling happily. At last, the giant could stand it no more. He dropped his heavy club with a crash. "This little man is too powerful," he cried, and with giant steps he ran into the forest, breaking branches as he fled. The tailor stood proudly in the clearing, hands on his hips, smiling. With the giant gone, the tailor set off again, full of pride. He had beaten strength with cleverness. As he marched along the sunny road, hills and valleys stretched out before him, and he whistled cheerfully, ready for whatever came next. At last, the tailor reached a grand, glittering castle. Villagers and guards stared at his belt and whispered, "7 at one blow? Could it be true?" From a balcony, the king himself leaned forward, curious about this bold young man. The king called the tailor before him. He read the words on his belt, 7 at one blow. Could this little fellow truly be so strong? "Tell me," the king asked, "what great deeds have you done?" The tailor bowed and smiled, ready for whatever challenge might come. The king frowned. "If you are mighty indeed, then defeat the 2 giants who terrify my people." The court gasped. Giants were fierce and dangerous. But the tailor only grinned. "Gladly, your majesty," he said. He knew brains could beat brawn. Off into the forest he went, whistling cheerfully. Birds sang as he walked. But soon the woods grew dark and still. Strange eyes gleamed from the shadows. Yet the tailor marched on bravely, trusting his clever mind. In a quiet clearing, he saw them, 2 giants snoring beneath a great oak. Their clubs lay nearby, bigger than the tailor himself. Most would have fled, but not the tailor. He smiled. A clever plan was already in his head. When the giants stirred, the tailor tossed small stones at them from the shadows. Each thought the other had struck first. With angry roars, they swung their clubs. The ground shook, trees swayed, until at last the giants crashed to the ground, defeated by their own rage. The tailor stepped out proudly. Once again, he had won with brains, not brawn. But the king was still not sure. Stroking his beard, he said, "You must face another test. A wild unicorn roams the forest, frightening my people. Bring it back to me, if you dare." The court gasped, but the little tailor only bowed and smiled. "Gladly, your majesty," he said. Into the deep forest went the little tailor. The birds grew silent. The trees whispered. Then, out of the shadows, a unicorn appeared. Its horn glistened, its hooves struck the ground. Most men would tremble with fear, but the tailor only grinned. He had a plan. The unicorn charged, but the tailor was quick. At the last second, he leapt aside. Crash! The unicorn's horn sank deep into an oak tree. No matter how it pulled, it could not break free. The tailor laughed. "Brains are better than brawn," he declared. Once more, he had won. Still, the king was not satisfied. "One final test," he declared. "A wild boar runs through my forest, tearing fields and scaring people. Capture it, if you truly are as brave as your belt says." The hall fell silent, but the little tailor only bowed with a smile. "Gladly, your majesty," he said. Through the forest ran the tailor, the wild boar thundering behind him, tusks sharp and deadly. At the last moment, the tailor dashed into a little stone chapel. The boar followed. Crash! The tailor slammed the door shut. The beast was trapped forever. Wit had beaten strength once again. At last, the tailor returned to the castle. The wild boar was captured, the final challenge complete. The people cheered, the princess smiled, and even the king looked amazed. The little tailor had proven himself, not with strength, but with cleverness.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a new one. More amazing stories coming your way.